Syllabus for CAT examination. What is the syllabus? Why, as we discussed in the previous session, why getting 50% score is a good score? 50-55% score you are getting, you are there in that 95-99 percentile category I said in the previous session. Why it is such a low scores gives you such a top higher ranks there? What is the syllabus? We will discuss this. Students, when I say that what is the syllabus? First of all, CAT never prescribes any syllabus. If you see the advertisement that CAT gives you, they don't say that what is the syllabus. Only when they talk about examination pattern, they will tell you there will be 3 sections and these are the test areas. Like as I told you already in one of the earlier videos, like VARC one section, LRDA one section, Quant one section, but they don't prescribe any syllabus as such. In fact, I tell you students, there is no syllabus as such, to be very honest, whether it is Quant or LRDI or English. It only tests the student's ability to think, the student's ability to solve problems, to solve puzzles. So this is the syllabus. So whether whatever topics they use are only instruments in checking the student's inherent strength of logical skills there, basically, right? But however, based on the previous year exams, we can have a broad range of the topics from where we get questions, right? Based on the questions in the previous year exams, we can estimate the range of topics. We'll start with quant because that's the bigger area. We have quite a few topics. So I will divide these quant questions into few areas like arithmetic, algebra, kind of stuff. If you look at arithmetic, see the topics I have: ratio, proportion, variation, percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, averages, mixtures, allocations, time and work, speed, time and distance. If you look at these topics, see the number of questions we have. As I said, CAT 20, we had 26 questions of quant. CAT 1918, we have 34 questions of quant. If you see students, we have 9 to 10 questions out of 26 means is almost to 40%. Or if you look at, see, 12 to 14 questions means 12 to 14 questions out of 34 is again around 40%. So 40% of the quant section is arithmetic. Arithmetic topics like ratio, proportion, these are all something that you might have learned in 7th standard or 8th standard in your school days. The concepts that required to solve these questions that you get here, probably you might have learned 7th standard, 8th standard. But I'm not trying to make it so light saying that a student of 7th standard, 8th standard can write CAT. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, students, is when you, if you go through the 7th, 8th standard syllabus, all the required concepts to crack CAT examination you have, concepts you have. But what is required is a problem solving skills. As I said in the previous part, you need to have a very good problem solving skills. A 7th standard student or a 10th standard student cannot solve these questions because they require much higher problem solving skills. One of the following videos, we will try to discuss what I mean by that, how a question will be given from 8th standards topic and how it can be really made complex there. Or I tell you students, in my channel you will find a playlist of previous CAT questions. You select these topics and see the questions that are given. You have more than 100 questions in that playlist. You can see the questions from these topics, how the concepts are simple, but how CAT frames questions from these topics, right? So 40% of your CAT questions come from arithmetic topics in quant section. And as I said, students, if you are getting around 50% to 55%, you are there in the 90 percentile, 95 to 99 percentile category, I said. So students, now tell me, if especially I am talking about non-math students will keep telling me, sir, I am not good in maths. So do you think that I can do well? See, every time I take a quant class, I get lot of questions like this. I get lot of mails after the first class. Sir, I am not math student. I left my maths there. Do you think that I can really do? Can you give me your honest reply? My honest reply is, students, as I said some time back, you please note down, I said CAT exam eligibility criteria is that any graduate can write. When I say that any graduate can write, it doesn't matter what background you come from. So there is no specific advantage to us people of one particular background as such, because these are all elementary mathematics. First of all, I can't call it mathematics, right? Okay, so that's the first part. Second one, if you look at topic like numbers, second is numbers, basic numbers, different types of numbers, the rules with respect to numbers. Numbers is a very important area for CAT examination. In fact, last 3-4 years we had less number of questions from this area. We can see here it is around, as I said, 4 out of 26. It's around 20%, 15 to 15% probably. You can see in the previous years also it's around 4 out of, I mean, 3 or 4 out of 34 means is around 10%. Traditionally, students, numbers will be having 15% to 20%. Again, number of prime numbers, composite numbers, number of factors, related rules, LCM, HCF, all those things come under numbers concepts there. Again, you learned in school days. It used to be 15 to 20%. Maybe last 3 years, the weightage of numbers has come down a bit by to 10 to 15%. But traditionally, it used to be 15 to 20, sometimes even more than 20% also, right? Okay, next, geometry. When I say geometry, please remember, many students actually they say that they're not comfortable with geometry, but please understand, you don't have to draw any geometrical figures, you don't need to prove any theorem, all that. See, some basic concepts on geometry, especially like lines, angles, triangles, quadrilaterals, circles, if you can learn some basic concepts, it's all about problem solving skills. Why geometry is important for not just for CAT, any entrance exam is geometry tests students' ability to visualize. See, whenever a question is given, you have to visualize the diagram. A triangle, if I say there is a point inside the triangle, suppose when I say that, you should be able to visualize the diagram and solve the question. So that is why it is, again, it's about problem solving skills. If you learn all the basic concepts up to 10th standard, you have all the required knowledge to crack geometry questions, all the required knowledge. But as I said, you need to develop the problem solving skills, right? You can see geometry again is very important. 15% to 20% of your quant will come from geometry here, quant questions. Now, so we said 40% of arithmetic, 10 to 15% minimum of numbers, 15 to 20% of geometry. These are all school level things only, right? And next one, algebra. When I say algebra, please understand, I'm not talking about the complex algebra of vectors, all that they will give you. It's not that, please. It's the basic things, simple equations, solving two simple equations like 2x plus 3y, 3x plus 5y. He may not give you to solve two simple equations, but he will tell you a story where the concept involved will be behind that will be solving two simple equations. If you have a doubt, as I said, go to that playlist. You will see a couple of questions on simple equations, how it is given. Simple equation, something you might have learned in 7th standard. Similarly, quadratic equations and cubic equations and all that, the basic formula and all that, finding number of factors, nature of those roots and all that will be is what is required. See, please remember, for algebra, there will not be, see, if you know the basic concept, that's enough. They may not really go very deep into the topic there. See, algebra questions are pure mathematics questions. Then if you know the basic formulae, basic rules, you can solve the question. Actually, arithmetic questions is where actually the concept is simple, but they try to give you more logic based questions there, right? Logarithms, for example, if you look at logarithms last 3 years, they are giving regularly questions there. And when you say those 10 basic formulae of logarithm, like you learn, like log mn is equal to log m plus log n kind of stuff, you can solve questions on logarithms, those basic 10 rules. Similarly, indices, there are some basic 7-8 rules like a power m into a power n is a power m plus n kind of stuff. Those basic rules, if you learn, you can solve the questions there. See, we have around 10 out of 24, 26 last year. Usually, logarithms, I mean, algebra will be around 20% of your CAT examination. But the questions, the difficulty level of the questions is not very big. Please understand that. Normally, the moment I say algebra, non-math students will go wrong. Again, you see the questions in algebra in that playlist that I'm talking about, how easy questions will be. Once only, if only you, with an open mind, you attempt it, the questions will be very easy. Next, modern maths. When I say modern maths, it is like sequences and series, or we can say progressions, geometric progression, arithmetic progression, those things, and different types of series questions, permutations, combinations questions, probability questions. Again, not very deep into the concept. They test basic students' ability to analyze, to think logically, the arrangements, how many 4-digit numbers I can have, how many 5-digit numbers I can have, how many ways I can choose a particular color ball out of so many balls. So these basic questions will be given there. So this is around usually around 10% of your CAT paper, around 10% there. And sometimes some miscellaneous things like one odd question of statistics, operator based questions. Operator based questions means you will say A star B means A square minus B square. A, A delta A dollar B means A square plus B square. Like that, he'll give some conditions and give you operator based questions there, statistics. See, you find hardly one odd question of statistics sometimes, but not regularly there, right? Mean, mode, and all that. But they don't go very deep into, standard deviation, kind of stuff there, right? So this is about the quant there. Next one, DILR. If you look at data interpretation, it can be divided broadly into two types: calculation based DI, logic based DI. Calculation based DI, if I look at it, there are few basic things like tables, bar diagrams, line graphs, pie charts, the different types of diagram where it is basically on caselets where the data is not structured. So here, basically these kind of questions will test your calculation ability, your computation ability. See, it's not that most of your questions in will be this kind of thing. You get one set, but if you are doing one set, the 4 questions, 4 3 is 12 marks. 12 out of say 12 out of 96 is around 12%. I said if you are getting around 25%, 30%, you are getting that 85 percentile category, I said. So this always helps you whenever you can attempt these questions. It helps you to clear the sectional cutoff easily there. Next, logic based DI, the reasoning based DI questions, tournaments and championships like Wimbledon tournament, which is a knockout tournament, or rather a cricket World Cup, which is a round robin tournament kind of things, IPL. So these things will be discussed here. Then they'll give you questions like networking diagrams, three-dimensional diagrams. Then we have questions like maxima, minima. These are all different types of logic-based DI questions. Now, students, next one is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning, traditionally we have questions like linear arrangements, circular arrangements, Venn diagram based questions, analytical reasoning puzzles or grid puzzles we call it. Like so many, there are 5 students wearing 5 different color hats, riding 5 different color bikes, studying in 5 different colleges. So these are all, you have to make the grid there. So these are all some of those traditional reasoning questions and DI questions. But however, students, binary logic, truth, someone is saying truth, someone is speaking always lies, someone speaks truth or lie alternately. These are all binary logic questions there. Students, this is the traditional LRDI. But if you look at last 3 years, the LRDI section has been completely different. He's giving questions where you have to use multiple reasoning concepts to solve the questions there. So you'll be giving the data, you have to plug in something, you have to bring in some other logic, try to do it. It's not the traditional this LRDI question that you are finding in the last 3 years, right? However, these basic concepts, that if you are clear, these things will help you to answer those questions that I'm referring to, which are non-traditional questions. This helps you to answer those questions properly there. So that's the reason you cannot really predict what kind of puzzle he will give you in LRDI. You can see every puzzle in the last 3-4 years looks different, right? But your ability to understand these kind of reasoning based questions or DI questions will lay platform, will give you some basic approach to solve these kind of questions that I'm talking about, innovative puzzles that have been appearing in the last 3-4 years. Next one is VARC. If you look at VARC, reading comprehension, if you look at, uh, we have bulk of the questions 18 out of 26 here, or if you look at here 24 out of 34. So bulk of the questions are coming from reading comprehension. Verbal ability questions are three types: para formations, odd one out, and para summary. So para formations means he'll give you a few statements. You have to make the correct order connection so that it becomes a meaningful passage or paragraph. Similarly, when you're given a few statements, you have to find the odd one out. And para summary is you have to make a conclusion or summary of the paragraph there. So these are this they test more of your reasoning. I can say, I can call this as actually verbal reasoning. So if you have critical reasoning, if you are good at critical reasoning, these things will help you. So it's not traditional grammar, vocabulary kind of thing, please. So CAT has moved from traditional grammar, vocabulary kind of thing to more reasoning based questions in English, right? So this is about VARC, students. This is the basically syllabus. If you see the syllabus, so it's not that you want to be really so great in English, because see, when I say so great in English, I need to have so much of vocabulary, I need to be very good grammar. No, it's not required. It's about your ability to think rationally, to think logically is what is tested, whether it is VARC, whether it is DI, or whether it is quant. So now tell me, does it matter what background a student is from, whether it is engineering or non-engineering or whatever background, doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't favor really one particular group of people, please. So if you, I've explained you in the previous session on how CAT exam, I mean, what is the cutoff marks, how CAT exam is a traditionally low scoring examination. And here, students, I have tried to give you the syllabus, and you can see that the syllabus is all school level syllabus, but the concepts, I mean, the concepts are also school level, but the skill set that is required to solve the questions is something you require there, basically, right? So this is about the syllabus, students.